Hi, Sparkles. I was challenged, inspired this week to make a video to check in and to do kind of a weekly recap. So let's see what happens. This week was the full moon, so I don't know if you felt that energy. I really appreciate, especially in the darkness that is winter up here in the Northern Hemisphere, that extra light. It's just, I find it very soothing and comforting. One of my monthly rituals when it comes to full moons is putting my crystals out. That's my favorite way to cleanse our energy, just to give them a bath in the moonlight. So I know which window the moon really shines on for hours. So I line them up on the windowsill and just let them hang out there for a day or two. I also really appreciated learning. I always felt like, when you're starting to do create your own rituals, kind of whether that's a meditation practice or do different habits, healthier habits for personal development, it's really easy to get hung up on, if I don't do this the right way, it won't work. And then I will have invested all this effort and time and money and for no reason. There's always that pull to put the value on the doing and not just the being. So the full moon for me is also another reminder that although there is an exact time, right, when the illumination of the moon is at its fullest, it's not the only time to capture or enjoy or take inspiration from that energy. It really is like that evening or that exact time of day plus or minus a day. So you got a little bit. So just to kind of soak in and enjoy, in general, that energy is considered come to fruition. Like you think of the fullness and enjoying that for manifestation, like the coming manifesting of what you've been working on that month for that lunar cycle. So there are lots of different ways to do it, and I've really been thinking about that lately, and I want to create a full moon meditation to add to the meditations available on Insight Timer, just as another way to tune in. I've been thinking a lot this week also about perspective and how getting out of your normal routine, doing something different, it's really uncomfortable and really annoying, but it can give you such the opportunity for a fresh perspective. And I've actually been prepping my lists for annual reviews. I really like to take time at the end of the year and for the new year and sit down and reflect and dream and plan. And I kind of pull lists from me and what's come up in my work, but also different people I follow and kind of put the lists together and then go through each. I'm a generator in terms of human design, if you're familiar with human design. So my strategy is to respond. So I really appreciate questions. It helps me clarify my thoughts. So pretty much right now, it's just lists of questions. I was writing them out earlier today or continuing the process. And I think I've got 4 and just numbered them. Annual review, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll sit down at some point at the end of the new year and just go through the list and start answering them and collect my thoughts and ideas and dreams and wishes and all the good stuff. So I've been working on that. It's also lately the lesson that's been coming up is faith and remembering and trusting that it's all going to be okay and that the universe really conspires in your favor. Everything is happening for your best. Remembering that, I think for me too, it's that default, like I was saying earlier, where it's really easy to default to the doing. If I do this right, it'll all be okay. And of course that kind of leaves out spirit, right? This is a co-creation. So learning to catch myself when I have those thoughts and kind of not pull back, but almost lean back and go, wait a second. I got to show up and do my part, but also spirit is showing up on the other side and doing their part. And this has the potential to be amazing if I leave that door to possibility open. So having that trust and looking for the joy and the excitement has been good. Appreciating. This year I learned also, for lack of a better term, the trick of flipping my jealousy, I will say. So when you find yourself wanting what somebody else has and kind of feeling that pull and feeling that jealousy, blessing them. And so aligning not with the want and the lack of it, but aligning with the abundance of it, going, yeah, that's something I want. That's for me too. In my near future, I'm going to bless them because I want to be on that vibe, right? Good for them. Like genuinely good for them. That's for me too. And having that like bless, it doesn't always happen instantaneously. I've had a number of things come up recently where it's like, getting over the feelings is difficult, but we know feel your feelings so they can release energy. Emotions are energy, emotion. But then aiming also for kind of that mindset reframe, right? Blessing them, getting happy for them, living in that energy of that abundance. So then that too is reflected back to you. Right. I think that's what I've got for this week. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm working on. Very excited for the podcast. I just finished my first draft of my next book, which is about podcasting. So that's exciting. So I need to get into the editing phase. And what else? I think those are my priorities this week. But I've got a lot going on. I've got my first partnership this month with Bloom. That is a program by my favorite astrologer, Anca. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to. It's at deliciousease.com/Bloom. And I think that's it for now. Have a great week.